Hello, welcome to the very first episode of the Covenant Connection podcast. I'm Chad, I'm your host. We're delighted to have our president and owner, Tim Walker, with us today for the very first episode, Tim. And, the intent of this is just for us to communicate better with our Covenant team members. And so I'm glad I know you've been one of the biggest supporters and pushers of the podcast, and you and Miss Holly's worked really hard on this podcast studio. And so,
it's come together pretty good.
It does. It looks great. And, I'm happy to be in here. It's a little better setting than the first one we done together. So
yeah, we're excited.
But when we're talking about that, Tim, and I talked about a little bit of intercompany communication, but I know you really grabbed this vision and ran with it of a podcast. Why is it important to you, Tim? Why was it such a good idea to take the time and the resources to produce something like this for Covenant team members?
Well, you and I talked before about back when we first started and we just had a few crews in the field. I was able to get out to each and every one of them and talk to them and tell them how much I appreciate them, and
right.
and just kind of get a little insight on their personal lives, and communication was a whole lot better now that we have a lot more employees in the field. That's very difficult. Plus, I'm trying to stay on top of things in the office. So it was important for me to be able to set up something like this to be able to get our mission, vision, and core values out to the people. Not just that, but news as well. So when we have important things that happen in the company, this is a good way for us to be able to spread that to the crews.
Yeah.
And, obviously everybody has a phone these days,
right,
an iPad, so they can get on their phone and the podcast or YouTube and be able to just keep connected. And really, that's what it's all about, just stay connected.
I remember last year in the fall, we had some team members with some questions, because maybe we hadn't done the best job of communicating, some news and some projects that were coming up and things like that. And we had to pull a lot of people together for a meeting, and you had to talk to them about that. And hopefully, in my mind, I think maybe this will help as we get news, we can share it with the Covenant team members, and everybody's kind of in the loop and knows where the company's heading and what we're up to.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I think that's that, and not just that, Chad. It's hopefully this gets out to other people as well, and use it as a marketing tool that
right.
people can hook up with us and watch our podcasts or YouTube videos and just become comfortable with us and potentially bring on some more good people that are interested
right.
in working here. So I look at it as a couple of different things: connecting with our employees, and then hopefully bringing new employees on as well. Yeah,
and that's really good, Tim, because what you see in this podcast, I mean, I have some notes in front of me, but just to kind of keep us on task. But you're totally unscripted. You prefer it that way.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I don't like to practice because I sound like a robot.
So what you're hearing here, folks, is real. It's not rehearsed and it's not scripted. It's straight from the president's heart there, and so it's real. I think that's a big plus for Covenant Connection. So I wanted to share, talking about news. I wanted to share something that has come about in the last few weeks that we found. We got the news, and we're working toward some things I haven't even announced. We haven't even announced it on social media yet. But Nashville Business Journal has a contest about the best places to work in Nashville, and Covenant was nominated to receive one of those awards, and we done a survey, an employee survey by independent survey company that Nashville Business Journal chose, and every employee was sent a link to their email to get on this survey, and completely anonymous. We don't know who said what. We have some of the comments, but we don't know who they are, and completely anonymous to rate their experience with the company. And the end of that is we were chosen as one of the best places to work in Nashville. And looking at some of the reports that come from the survey, one of those things showed us that we have a real high engagement rate within Covenant, which is critical. They didn't ascertain that we had anybody that was not engaged. All of the people that were surveyed, they said we're highly engaged. And one thing that stood out to me from that report, Tim, one question was asked that, do you agree that the senior leaders value people as their most valuable asset? And, 85% of our people said yes. They believe that the senior management of this company value people over everything. And that just blessed me because that's really, I know that's your heart, and that's what you try to instill into us as managers to, it's people first. And so in the light of that and that award and some of the things that we looked at in that report, what's that mean to you, Tim?
Yeah, well, it's tremendous. I'm very happy that 85% of the workers here feel that they are that we do value them, because that's really what my heart tells me. It's people over profit, right?
Right.
That's what I've always thought. And obviously you have to make a profit in order to stay in business. You got to have a good service. You have to make a profit, because if you don't make a profit, you're just not in business. But I also value our people over our profit, and that it's a fine line to walk. But
it is.
That's just the way I approach things, and I always want to make sure that everybody's heard and they feel that they're a part of the company, and what they do express to us is not taken lightly. Is taken very seriously, and
right.
and act on whatever concerns that anybody may have. And I'm just happy to hear that the majority of the people here feel that they're heard and valued.
Yeah. Being in the office and being here for a while, I've come to know your heart, and not just your heart, but the heart of other managers here. And it's always been about the people. It's always been about the Covenant team members first. But some of the guys out in the field, that are maybe new coming on or haven't had a chance to meet all of us yet, they don't realize that. But we try to show that through our actions as well, not just
right.
words.
Right.
And so
that's why I enjoyed. We had lunch here the other day for one of the crews down on one of our jobs, and there's quite a few guys down there that I hadn't met yet, and it was nice just to be able to sit down and talk to them and meet them and be able to see what let them know my intentions and what my heart is, and I enjoyed that very much.
I've heard it said, and I think it's true, Tim. Anybody that can get some credit can maybe rent some equipment or buy some equipment and maybe bid and get a job. But what really sets a company apart is its workforce and its people and its culture. And that's if you focus on that, that'll be your different factor from all your other competition in your market. And so it's really encouraging to see Covenant put that kind of emphasis on their people. And it's not something we do as a marketing strategy. It's because we actually care about people. And so
that's right.
So, Tim, this episode, we decided we were going to talk about the vision statement and the mission statement. For those that may have not heard or may not heard in a while, I'm going to read through the vision statement, the mission statement, and just name our 4 core values here. The vision statement of Covenant, and when I say Covenant, this is Covenant Constructors and Covenant Concrete Construction as well. We're all under that banner of Covenant. The vision statement for Covenant is building strong foundations for all by knowing and loving God through sharing of your faith and the work of your hands. Of course, the mission statement probably a lot more people are familiar with because we have it on our shirts out in the field and different things. It's constructing better lives through faith in God. The 4 core values that we sat down as a leadership team and put together, prayerfully put together, one was Christ serving, then it went to integrity, excellence, and courage. So that's the vision, mission statement, and core values of Covenant. Now, before we get into the specifics of the mission statement for Covenant, I want to take a minute, Tim, and let you talk about the importance of just having a vision. And you know, some organizations don't have a vision. You know, they don't talk about it much if they do have one. And I think you're really missing an opportunity when you do that. You know, the Word of God in Habakkuk 2:2 says, "Then the Lord answered me, and He said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it." And a famous quote from Warren Bennett said this. It says, "With a vision, the executive provides the all-important bridge from the present to the future of the organization." It's the bridge that links the two. I know you spent a lot of time lately, Tim, over the past several months, just really focusing on vision, working on the vision script. I know you've been looking at some tools, books from different folks, and spending some time doing that. And that's something that you feel strongly that you need to refine and communicate better. And that is one of the reasons that we're sitting here today on this podcast. When it comes to having a vision for an organization, why is that important for an organization to have, Tim?
So the vision is like a roadmap, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a vision, you don't have a roadmap, and you're trying to go somewhere, you have no clue where you're headed.
Right.
You're just heading off into the unknown, right? So it's the same in business. Your employees have to understand what your vision is so they know what the mission is, and in order to have that, you have to express that constantly, and you have to let everybody know what your vision is, and it keeps everybody on track.
Yeah,
keeps them focused, understand the end goal, and what 5-10 years down the road, here's what the vision looks like. It's not right now, it's the future, like you said. What are we going to look like in 5 years?
Yeah.
What do I want Covenant to look like in 5 years or 10 years? And that just helps everybody stay focused and understand what the goal is.
Yeah, it's to try to get somewhere without a vision is like trying to hit a target that you can't see. You know, if you got a bow and arrow and you're trying to shoot it, somebody puts a blindfold on you, your chances of hitting that target go way down.
That's
because
right.
you can't see the target. And so I appreciate that, Tim. Thank you. And talking about vision and mission, let's get on down into the company mission for Covenant. And again, this is the formulation of this vision, mission, and core values took months of the entire leadership team sitting in a room, prayerfully talking about who we are as a company, what we want to try to accomplish as a company, and the guidelines or the core values which we're gonna complete that mission within. Our mission statement came out of that to be constructing better lives through faith in God. We say that all the time, and I've committed that to my memory because I really believe in it. But it's more than a tagline. We didn't come up with it for a marketing plan. It's more than a tagline. It's a mission statement. It means something to us, and I know it means something to you. Would you want to take some time and just talk to the folks about what constructing better lives through faith in God means to you and what you expect it to mean for Covenant?
Yeah, so we have a vision statement, okay? That's the roadmap to get to where we want to go in 5-10 years, whatever that looks like. But then your mission is is how we get there. What do we look like
Right.
on the way to our vision? What does that look like for Covenant? Constructing better lives through faith in God. It's got a couple different things in there. We're a construction company, right? So we're into constructing. So constructing better lives. That's what we do. So I think everybody can relate to that. I think that's really why we come up with the first part of that mission statement. Through faith in God is how we're going to operate, how Covenant's going to operate, and it's going to operate through faith in whatever God throws in front of us.
Right.
And with His help and responding to His promptings and showing us the direction that we need to go. I think that's the whole mission statement. 2 pieces. In a nutshell, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
We're in construction. We're constructing. That's our job, and we're going to do it through faith in God.
Yeah.
And trust in Him.
Right. And one thing that we talked about, Tim, when we were coming up with this, we're not just constructing projects. Our aim is to construct better lives as well.
That's right.
In our team members and our clients and our people we partner with, subcontractors and suppliers.
Anybody we come across.
Right.
Any path we come across.
Right.
We're not particular about that.
We're there to leave the person, the situation better than we found it.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this might be a little redundant, Tim, but that's the mission. That's the vision. Say you were able to go to sleep tonight and you wake up in the morning and that vision has become reality. What's that look like to you? You walk in the office tomorrow morning and this vision and this mission has become reality. What's this company look like?
I think this company looks like a place where God is 100% present. And we can see that in the way our employees act.
Yeah.
We can feel it with the Holy Spirit being involved in every decision that we make, and that where team members are just full of God.
Yeah.
And that's really what it looks like to me ultimately, and where people, their lives are being changed
for the better,
to not just advance professionally, but in their personal lives as well, to help their families. So that in the end, that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. I was blessed by, we had a conversation. We got another podcast taking place with another organization tomorrow right here. And they were talking about some of our social media things that we have out and talking about different ones talking about Covenant. And they talk about what we're doing as far as building people and getting involved in different ministries and things more than they're talking about what we're building. Mm-hmm. And that has to bless you. That has to bless you, because a lot of construction companies in our area, there's a lot of them that do what we do in our area. There seems to be more of a focus on what they're building, and that's important and that's good. But we're almost known more for actually constructing better lives in with people and getting involved in ministries and trying to help the best we can.
It's good to hear the feedback on that.
It is.
It means that we're doing something right.
That's right. That's right.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, Tim, we're going to try to keep these. Your vision was to try to keep these about 20 minutes or so, and we're nearing that mark. So we're getting ready to sign off of the first ever episode of Covenant Connection.
Yeah.
And this is your chance. I'm sure a lot of people's going to tune in and see what you got to say and see what it's about. This is your chance to speak to maybe the guy or the gal that you haven't met yet, or somebody you hadn't got talked to in a while, and just tell them from the president's heart, from the owner of the company's heart, both constructors and concrete, what you'd like for them to know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you some time to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chad. First of all, I want to thank my wife, Miss Holly, for helping me put together this podcast room. She's done a great job.
Tremendous job.
Decorating it. Now, I was in charge of the sign, so the sign's all me. But I'm going to take credit for that. But everything else she put together, and I really appreciate her help on that. She did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
for those of you new employees and old as well that have really never met me because I haven't been in the field much, I just want to thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your dedication. And when you're around me, there's one thing I'm going to say all the time, and one thing I want to talk about constantly, and that's God. And I'm not ashamed of that. That's who we are as Covenant Constructors. We are a faith-driven company, and that is something that's on my heart, and that will always be on my heart, is to lead like Jesus does. So, again, just thank you for all your hard work. I look forward to meeting those that I haven't met, and I look forward to what the 2024 season has for Covenant, because we have a tremendous amount of work lined up out there, and we're going to push forward as the Lord allows us.
Yeah.
And I just thank you for all your hard work. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim. We appreciate it. Well, that wraps the first episode of Covenant Connection. I just want to encourage everybody. This is meant to be your space, so we'd like to hear back from you. We want to hear some feedback, some questions, maybe some stories, some ideas. We plan on bringing people in from time to time and talking to them about different things going on. The podcast is meant to be more of a dialogue than just a monologue. We want to hear from you.
That's right.
And so we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate Tim and his time that he took with us today. And get ready for episode 2 of Covenant Connection. Amen.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.